another thing with IMX. So Robbie's kind of said that there are two AAA game studios that have started building on Immutable, announcing the first within a month. So we actually haven't got any announcement yet, but that's massive. I don't know, like, again, I've got no inkling of what this is. Yeah, so I've got no inkling of what this is, but honestly, that's massive. If it's, again, it could be massive. It depends on what the AAA studio is, but obviously having that AAA stamp obviously means that they're already really, really big. So I think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's super exciting for Immutable. I think Immutable day in, day out are just kind of cementing themselves as the big gaming player in Web3, in the Ethereum kind of space. So congrats, massive congrats to Robbie, Immutable, and the entire team. I think this is incredible. I don't know who wants to share their thoughts on this one.
I mean, I like you said, we haven't seen any announcements so far, but Robbie and Immutable just keep coming with really exciting news. What was it the other week? We talked about how they've like I can't remember if they like acquired or like were in work with like 30 different Web3 projects or what. Well, I can't remember exactly what it was, but and he's saying in the tweet below as well, like $9 billion invested in Web3 games in the past 2 years. It's just nuts. And like you say, Immutable are really like setting firm ground here as the number one for projects to be involved with them. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. I think they're going to run away with this. Like, honestly, obviously there'll be someone that tries to capture some market share, whatnot, like try to have that competition. But I think IMX is so far ahead with big names like Illuvium, with, again, these AAA games, like you say, these like, I think he said like 50 or some shit, like 50 games that are going to be like some crazy number. It's like, man, they're just on it, fam. They're on it. And obviously they built this reputation as the go-to. So as long as they don't really fuck anything up too badly, I think it's hard for them to kind of lose that spot. But sorry, Annie.
Yeah, I agree. I think Immutable is well positioned. We look at them and Polygon still. Those are my top two, as I've mentioned in the past, chains that we see people building on. And you add that on top of the fact that the merge has now happened, and we don't talk too much about like layer one structures, but the next rounds of development on Ethereum are going to have some pretty big positive impacts for the layer twos that are built on top of it with their roll-ups like we see with IMX. And so it's really just continuing the same trend that we've seen. I am eager to see scalability, right? This is the big question that we've still got to have someone demonstrate with even just one massive game running at scale with,
I think it's going to be,
I'm going to say, millions of transactions per day, like not hundreds, not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but millions, tens of millions of transactions per day that are running to demonstrate this is scalable. We can have that structure in place and have it running consistently, because the last thing that you want is, let's say you go out and capture this absolutely amazing alluvial and you want to sell it, and by the way, server's down. You can't get in, and I mean we've all experienced that.
Because I know that was a thing with Gods Unchained. Like when I first got into it, like the forge wasn't working. It took ages to be able to get that. Like it was working, it wasn't working, it was working, it wasn't working.
Solana,
So was that Solana just in general? Solana in general. So like that is a thing, because I've kind of made that I put that out there publicly as well regarding IMX's scalability. That's the thing that I'm worried about as well, because we haven't seen any proof of that just yet, not to the scale that you're talking about as well. I personally think that Illuvium is going to be that test, just because it seems like it's the biggest, closest thing to being like put out there on that scale. Whether we hit that millions of transactions quickly, that's debatable. We'll have to wait and see. But apart from that, I can't see anything else that's really going to come in there. Maybe this AAA game, like Web2 AAA game that's maybe they've already been building for a while, and then they're just putting it on Immutable. Maybe that might be it. But again, I completely agree. I think the whole scalability thing is the thing that I'm looking at. But again, I'm not too worried about it. I'm cautious about it. But I do believe like Robbie and the team are going to be able to overcome it if there is anything. Again, it seems like they've set themselves up in a pretty good position. And like I said, I think that's the only thing, really, not the only thing. When I said like if they don't let something fuck them up, I think that's going to be the thing. I think if the one thing that's going to fuck them up, it's going to be the scalability, if that is anything.